What's happening, Hammers? Dan Lawless here, and we're just giving our reactions to the absolutely disgusting news that James Collins has been released by the club via email. This has been reported by several news outlets, TalkSport, the Mirror, and ex-West Ham employee, that James Collins basically received an email saying his services will no longer be required. So I'm just shocked and disgusted at this news, you know, and we shouldn't be shocked by anything this board do, but it's unbelievable for a player like James Collins, who started playing for this club 13 years ago and played 10 seasons for West Ham, to be just so unceremoniously dumped by the club, you know, one of the fans' favourites, and you go and treat him like that. They're unbelievable. They just don't know how to treat people, this board. They just don't know how to treat people. They are an absolute disgrace. And this is the thing, right? This is supposed to be the summer where they start building bridges with the fans, right? They're finally going to make things right, and they're going to do right by the fans. And the first act of this board is to let go one of our most beloved players by email. You know, and this just shows, right, that they don't care what the fans want. They don't care about the fans. You know, at that Everton game, that final game of the season, they had 50,000 fans singing "Sign him up, Ginger Pele," right? Sign him up. This would have been such an easy PR move, right? So easy. First thing you do, right? James Collins, 1 year, 2 year deal. Bang, you're getting everyone's, you know, feeling happy, starting to feel like things are moving in the right direction, and the board is finally listening to the fans. And then you go completely the other way, and then you sack him, and you don't just sack him, well, not sack him, but you just release him by email and say, look, no new deal, good luck, bye. It's to treat one of our most beloved players and longest serving players like that, you know, I can't say enough. It's a disgrace, you know. And even if they weren't going to keep him on for another year, for another season, you know, there are so many better ways to go about it. They could have let us know, like, you know, earlier in the season, and say, look, James, right, we're not going to renew your contract, we're not going to keep you on, but we want to give you a brilliant send-off, and when you hang up your boots, there'll be a place for you at this club. Right, look at how Zaba was let go from City. He had a fantastic send-off. Everyone knew about it. The last game was emotional. They'd done videos on the YouTube channel. You know, he was treated with such respect. But that's the thing, like, Man City respect their fans. This board does not respect the fans, and I just think they just don't know how to treat people. And our PR is an absolute disaster. We have, honestly, the worst PR. It's so clueless. It's just, how can you be so fucking stupid as to think that this wouldn't go down any other way but just complete backlash? I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled that they cannot see this so clearly. And to me, this is just, it's unforgivable. You know, I feel like James Collins still had so much to contribute to this club. You know, we heard so much about how he was a leader in the dressing room, and, you know, how he would, you know, him and Noble would be pulling the team together after a defeat. He's so experienced, you know, and every time he comes on that pitch, he gives 100%. Never seen him give any less. And I still, you know, you could have given him 1 more year and let that year go out on a high, or at least make him his last year. I'm just disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted. And this it just cements that this club, you know, we're not, they like to put themselves out as a family club. They're not a family club. This is why everyone's starting to hate this club. Everyone's starting to hate us because of the way that they treat people. This is why you get people who work for them and end up leaving, like just the high turnover of staff that they seem to have. And it's all just how they treat people. And I cannot wait until the day that they leave this club, honestly. I cannot wait. You know, we're waiting to get a new manager to see who that's going to be, and hopefully things get turned around. But this is just another sign that they just don't know what they're doing, honestly. They really don't. He's not on high wages, James Collins. It's not like he's seriously going to impede us from, signing anyone else. Let me know what you guys think down below. But like I said, I'm absolutely appalled and disgusted.
For me, the club not offering Ginger Pele a new contract is fair enough. That's their discretion. But to do that without a manager in place, how do they know the new man coming in doesn't want a character like Collins in the dressing room? With the passion that he shows for the club. He's got one of them good attitudes. I said it before on a post-match pint when we're playing Wigan away in the FA Cup. As a senior player, he come out and warmed up with the youngsters. At half time, and you don't see many senior pros doing that anymore. They seem to put themselves above the youngsters a bit. So it's really disrespectful on that part. But to let the guy know he's not getting a new contract in an email when he's been at the club on and off for 12 years. He's been a loyal servant. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. He's one of them old-fashioned type players. He gives everything. You saw at that last game of the season when he did his lap of honour. He was in tears. It goes to show how much the club means to him. And for me, they've just shown him a complete and utter disrespect. It's a joke. Whether they get on with him as a person or not, you shouldn't be treating people that way. Look, if you've gone for an interview and you're not successful in the interview, you get an email saying, sorry, you weren't the right candidate for us. These are what you did wrong, this is what you did right. But for a player that's given everything like Collins has, and as I said, been a loyal servant for the club, it's just totally wrong. And for me, it just sums up what's wrong with the board. It's absolutely pathetic that they'd handle it in that sort of manner. Listen, we don't know the full details. If they come out and spoke to him on the phone or spoke to him face to face and the emails a confirmation, then fair enough. But by the sounds of things, the way things have been reported, it seems like they've just emailed him and turned around and said, sorry, we don't want you no more. And it's bang out of order. The new manager should be in place. The new manager should decide whether he wants a player or not, and it should be then that they pull Ginger Collins in, turn around and say to him, look, thank you for your service, but we're not renewing your contract. That's the right way of doing it. It's just about respect, and for me, they're showing him no respect whatsoever. It just sums everything up about our club at the minute. The way the things are from in the boardroom, it's just terrible.
It hasn't gone down well with the fans, especially myself. Quite angry over it when I read it this morning, that he was released via an email. Someone that's given you so much over 2 spells, over 10 years, to be released by an email is a disgrace by the club. Look, I understand players get older. I understand players have to move on. Careers come to an end. Ginger's 34 now. I think he's 35 in August. But there's a way about going. There's a way about doing things. If they knew that they wasn't going to renew his contract, then they should have told us weeks ago. So that Everton game, they could have really made a fuss for Ginge. They could have let him do a speech after on the pitch. I know people wanted a testimonial for him. That would have been a great idea. Whether James Collins would have wanted it is another thing. But me personally, I'd love to have seen James Collins stay out of the club. Whether as a player or definitely as a coach. But I just think it's the way he's been released. I just think it's disgraceful by the club. The week started off so good. The news broke that David Moyes has left the club, which a lot of people, including myself, wanted. We've been linked with all these top managers this week. It looks like it's going to be Pellegrini. It's exciting stuff at the moment for West Ham. You think the board are actually doing something decent for once, and then bang, this happens. The news breaks that one of our most loyal servants, fan favourites, absolute legend at West Ham, Ginger Collins, Ginger Pele, has been released by an email. I think there's ways about doing things, and I think it's an absolute disgrace by the club. But it may not be the end for James Collins. A new manager will come in. His contract's up, but the new manager may come in and decide that he wants to keep him on. Especially if it's a foreign manager, they might want someone around the club, like on the coaching staff, who's got a connection with West Ham. So you never know. But look, if it is the end for Ginger, he's played over 200 games for West Ham, 2 spells. I've loved him, loved every single minute of James Collins. I know when we sold him to Villa a few years ago, he didn't want to leave the club. He come back. He's ever since. You see his reaction on the Everton game in tears. That shows how much that badge means to these players. Players like Ginger Pele. Mark Noble's the same. There's a lot of players out there that just put that shirt on and don't really give a shit about the shirt. But people like James Collins, they're a dying breed now. And once someone like Noble goes as well, that'll be probably the end of them sort of players for West Ham. It'll all be the players that are just there for the money and don't really care about the badge on the shirt. But look, on a personal note, if it is the end for James Collins, I just want to say a big, massive thank you to Ginge for his service down the years for the club. I wish him well in the future. If it is the end at West Ham for him, there's no way back, then I hope he goes on to maybe play for Cardiff. You know, that'd be a fairy tale ending for his career, to go to Cardiff in the Premier League, where he first started for him. But yeah, listen, give us your thoughts as always. I mean, we're all doing a reaction video. It's tough news to take in this morning, you know. I'm a bit upset by it, if I'm honest. But yeah, I'll leave that there. I'll talk about a bit more about this in the transfer roundups. But yeah, listen, thank you so much, James Collins, for your service over the years. Hopefully see you soon in a West Ham shirt again. Come on, you Irons.